about 2 years ago, I did a video about the difference between a US version phone and an international phone. And while that video, very popular, and it did provide a lot of information, there's a couple things that I did leave out that had to do with the international phones not being branded. So just to give a quick review of the main differences between international phone and a US version phone. I'm not going to go through everything in depth. You could go to the video in the description if you want to look at that video. But the main difference between these two phones is that international phones, international phones do not work with all US carriers. If you have an international phone, that phone is only going to work with T-Mobile or AT&T because they share the same network architecture. Again, not going to go deep into that. The other thing that's important to know with international phones, that at least for the Samsung family of phones, that you'll often be able to have dual SIMs. As of right now, at least for the Samsung family, you not get a dual SIM US version phone. So if you want to be able to have dual SIM, you're going to have to get international phone. Another thing that's important to know on international phone, a lot of people think that just because you go to a website like Newegg or Amazon, you'll often find that it says international phone, you're not going to have a warranty. So they wonder if the phone is of lesser quality or something like that. That is not the case. International phones, they still come from Samsung. They are Samsung official phones. The reason that they have no warranty is how all warranties work, or most warranties work, is that warranty is only valid in the country of which that piece of technology or whatever you're buying was meant to be sold in. So international phones were meant to be sold in places that aren't America, like they weren't made for the American market. Therefore, your warranty will not apply. Therefore, your warranty will not apply if you're buying your phone in America. All right, so let's talk about the big things that I missed last year, or I forgot to talk about because I connected this more with the phones being international and not that the phones weren't branded. So you're probably wondering what branded means, right? So a branded phone is a phone that has, the AT&T or whoever your carrier's brand on it, right? So a lot of you might find that on the back of your phones, on the lower end, or whenever you turn on your phone, you're going to see something that says AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon. On your turn on screen, you might also have your carrier's logo on there. That means you have a branded phone. That phone can only work with that carrier unless your phone is unlocked. And what carriers are doing to make sure that you stay loyal to them is that if you can only have some of your carrier's premier features if your phone has their brand. So if you bring your phone over from Sprint, they don't want to give you all the features because they're like, you bought your phone from Sprint. We only want people who buy their phones from us to be able to have all these wonderful features. So some features that in all international phones, because they aren't meant to be used with US carriers or weren't designed to be used with US carriers, will have no brand. Or if you buy your phone directly from Samsung, your phone will also have no brand, and it will also have no bloatware that your manufacturers pre-install onto the phone. But you're going to miss out on some key features if you decide to go with an international or an unlocked phone straight from the manufacturer which has no brand. Those two things are going to be visual voicemail as well as Wi-Fi calling. So let's talk about what these two things are first, and let's start with Wi-Fi calling. Wi-Fi calling is basically steroids for your call quality, provided that you have your phone connected to Wi-Fi. For example, in my apartment, I have very bad cell reception. I'm constantly dropping calls. If I would have, if I had Wi-Fi calling, I'd just be able to connect my phone to Wi-Fi, and then my Wi-Fi signal would then be handling my call quality, and I'd have excellent call quality despite being in an area that has poor signal. And this is going to be helpful for people who have certain parts of their house that they notice are like dead zones. And I find this is often common with a lot of people who have basements. They'll be like, hey, hold on, I'm going into the basement, I'll be right back, because they have poor signal in the basement. But if you had a Wi-Fi in your basement, you'd be able to continue talking on the phone because that Wi-Fi calling would kick in, and you'd be able to experience exceptional call quality through the Wi-Fi. instead of through traditional means. So if you have AT&T and T-Mobile and you have an international or an unbranded phone, as I said before, you're going to buy directly from the manufacturer. AT&T and T-Mobile will not let you have access to these features. The other thing that you're going to be missing out on is a visual voicemail. And while, at least in Samsung's case, they do pre-install their own visual voicemail app, that visual voicemail app won't be native. And really isn't like a huge deal. It's only a small inconvenience of it not being native. But let's talk about what visual voicemail is. The visual voicemail is an application that allows you to see who's leaving you certain various voicemails. Back in the day, what would happen was, you have to, press 7 to delete, 9 to save, and you have to cycle through all your voicemails that way. With visual voicemails, you're able to see directly which numbers are leaving you certain voicemails. So if you could selectively check which voicemails you want to listen to, or you could delete voicemails you don't want to listen to. It gives you more power to see who's leaving you certain voicemails. So like if you were to click, so if I was left a voicemail and I would click on the notification that said, go to voicemail, my phone would directly send me to the old school dial 7 to delete, 9 to save type of voicemail. It won't directly send me to my own visual voicemail. The visual voicemail app is, again, done by Samsung, and it's pre-downloaded onto your phone, but I'd have to physically press the button press the app on my phone that says voicemail in order to access visual voicemail. It's not a huge inconvenience, and it's really minuscule. A lot of people might not even notice something like that, but that's the rub. So basically, we've now gone over some of the main things that you're going to be missing out on if you buy an international phone, or if you buy a phone that is unbranded directly from the manufacturer. Of course, none of this holds true with iPhones, because there is no such thing as an international version iPhone. All iPhones are the same. And again, thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.